Hello everybody, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button, and I have come today with an ideas, thinking through recovery and Christmas. So if you want to think through what my Christmas plans should be, or my plans running up to the end of the year, then stay tuned. This is the last video to be entered into the Vintage Button Advent Calendar giveaway. Here it is in all its glory. I'll be making a box for it to wing whatever it is. It's an international competition. I'm asking you to comment, and I've not managed to reply because I'm still in that recovery phase. She says, coughing, not for effect, just because I've got a frog in my throat, for COVID. But I will get there. I do get there, and I read everything. I just don't get to comment on it, and I don't press the little heart because then it disappears out of my back end feed. But I will get there. Right then. So what have we got here? We've got some slow stitch stuff that I've already done, but will be reminiscent of what we will do. So I'm going to park the slow stitch stuff there. I might even do a separate video about that. But we'll talk about the slow stitch stuff as well. And I've got 4 journal possibilities, because I folded something up. Where have I put that? This is the COVID brain. I folded it up. I made it right. And then I've done something with it. Oh well, we'll come to that. And I've got a big sheet of brown paper to write my thoughts on as we go. And then I will create some sort of bucket list. I'm filming on a different camera. I'm going to put that like that. On a different phone, because I have a little YouTube Google Pixel. I call it my YouTube Google Pixel. I call it my YouTube phone. And it's an old phone of mine that I use just to film YouTube videos. And I've done something with it. I had it to load the video up on Monday, and then I don't remember having it since then. So yeah, I actually do the comments and stuff on this phone. I don't know how the quality is on this phone because it's a Motorola. It's not a Google Pixel, so I don't know. We're just going with the flow. That is the new aim of the game, really. So these are hopes and dreams for November, December and January. I will just fold what I'm going to do here, and then I'll get a different piece of paper. So I have actually 4 journal ideas that I wanted to do for November and December from various points of the year, some more recent than others, and then one that I think will happily go into January. So should we start from the top? So it is, tomorrow starts the No Sew November, which Meg Journals is going to do. And I don't even have, I normally have a printout sheet by now and have an idea of what the resources are, like when it's either Junk Journal July or the couple of times I've attempted Junk Journal January, and it just doesn't go with, I think, slight seasonal affective disorder or whatever, January blues. It doesn't kind of gel with me, but I think I'm going to do it in a different way. Anyway, all that's to say, it was going to be No Sew November, and so there was 2 different types of foldy journal that I wanted to do. So I might do I have my little one? My thoughts are all over the place. I might do another version of this little one that I've not done a flip through for because it's not quite finished, but one that I might have done like 1 or 2 videos on this, which is like just a little, very simple. It's not quite finished, but it's very summery. So I might do one of those, like a mini art journal for November, and have that as that challenge, and not go through it. And I actually think the challenge isn't set up this way, but not go through it sequentially, but just sort of do it ad hoc, which I'm all about the ad hoc at the minute. So there's that one. And then I did a paint sample journal that's actually these proportions. It was a Farrow & Ball paint sample, and I did it just sort of vintagey. I should have brought it upstairs, it's on my shelves downstairs. It was sort of like, it had like a Victorian letter on each side, and it had like lots of Victorian bits, and it had sewn in signatures, which I quite like. So I think I want to do something like that as well for December. So there's that. I'm not going to have any energy to do any of this, but these are my hopes and dreams, and I'm going to choose something from it. If you've got any preferences, let me know. So it's a very different kind of video, this. And then I was watching Kit and Caboodlers, and they do mudlarking. I think I've spoken about it before. They do mudlarking, and they make miniatures from the stuff that they've mudlarked or old stuff. It's almost like junk journal in a 3D form. It's amazing, really beautifully shot and created videos. Very warm and personable mum and daughter team. Yeah, and they did this brambly hedge kind of little, it's the autumn, from the Autumn Story, like shelves from the they have something called a store stump, and it was like a shelf from there, this little vignette thing. And I just thought, I need to make a Bramley Hedge journal. So I went onto World Books or something like that, I don't know, World of Books, and I got The Winter Story. I mean, this is how many books she's got. I've never read The Secret Staircase. We've read the other ones. Ooh, and The High Hills. Well, I might have to get some. So these came out in the 1990s. My daughter was born in 2008. So I can't remember actually reading them to her, but I must have done from like library books and Lent books. But there were little films, little videos that we used to like to watch together when she was quite little. And the one we really liked was The Winter Story, about a snowball. And look at just the lusciousness. It's kind of a bit Beatrix Pottery. It's not as bleak as Beatrix Potter. Nobody's going to get put in a pie. It's very 1990s, I feel. It's kind of in the style of it. And it's just beautiful. So that's the hedgerow where they live. That's the store stump. That's where like the big shop is. Oh, it's just lovely. It's little mice living in the hedgerow. It's perfectly up my street. Look at that. It's just really, really nice. And then let's see, look. That was something, Kit and Caboodlers did like a smaller version of that, or it might be somebody's kitchen they did. But it's basically, there's a big snowstorm along the bramble hedge, and they look, that's where they live, in trees. Oh, it's just luscious. And they create a snowball, as in a dance, and they make a snow hall, an ice hall. It's a gorgeous story. It's very wintry. It's not necessarily Christmas. So this is another one. This is one that I think I could start and it would carry on into January quite happily. And I could slot in any junk journal January into it, which is ironic because I do have a Beatrix Potter that I tried. It was Mrs. Tiggywinkle to do junk journal January with last year. And it was full of whimsy. I'm going to approach this slightly differently, and I just couldn't do it. I think it's because it was so regimented, and I just want to hibernate come January anyway. So that, I definitely want to turn it into some sort of junk journal. I will probably be making the spine much wider, and I'm not going to necessarily cut the books up because it's in, I think it's in 3 signatures really, the way it's sewn. I don't want to take the story away. I want you to be able to read the story in it. So it's kind of going to be, I don't know, try and keep the book together but expand it. Don't know. Thoughts and ideas. Now this one, if you're British, you'll recognise this. This is a Quality Street. Probably actually if you're from South Africa or perhaps Australia and New Zealand, you'd recognise it as well, because I'm sure you have Quality Street over there too. This is a British Christmas institution, that and its rival Roses, we were always a Quality Street house in my house growing up, and the tins, because they used to be metal tin, were quite valuable and would be used for all kinds of things, including storing sewing kits and vintage buttons and all of that sort of stuff. So now they've moved away from the plastic tubs, which I'm really grateful for because they were just hideous, and even the wrappers inside are paper. But unfortunately for me, because I am off refined sugar, there are no sweets inside. This is actually, I took this from my office in Cambridge. I poured the sweets into another container, so I hope everybody finds the sweets because I just wanted the box. And I want to make, there's two things really. I don't know if I'm any close to getting my Etsy shop. The big junk journal advent calendars are nearly finished, and probably will be finished this weekend. And I will try and find a way this weekend to put them online to be bought if you didn't win the little one. So you have an opportunity to have some vintage button Christmas running up to Christmas. The name of the shop is called the Vintage Button Tin, and that's because I have memories. I couldn't find the vintage button on Etsy, and I do have memories of like tins of sewing kits and buttons and all kinds of things. So I want to make a vintage button sewing kit journal from this box. So it's got like a hard, and it kind of does represent what it is, but I just love the fact that it's paper and I can take it apart and I can make it into something. So when I saw this box, I was like, I need that to make a junk journal with, and all my colleagues are quite sort of supportive. I work in a very supportive environment, and they're like, oh yeah, that'll be really good. So I've purloined it from the office and I will make a journal from it. I'm not sure how it's gonna, because obviously I don't want my journal to be that wide, although it could be. I think what I'm probably going to do is cut it around, I don't know how, I'm going to sort of cut it around there somehow and make a hinge, because there are these, somehow make a hinge, like make that into a hinge, but then that's opening the right way. I'll make that into a hinge, I don't know, and then cut this thing down as well so that it sort of slots into one another, and then the journal will be in it somehow. I don't know, I'm really gonna have to think it through. But this is also something that could go into January and possibly even February, because it's not sort of explicitly Christmas. It's just very reminiscent of this time of year and kind of rushing to eat. Like in my house, everybody liked the strawberry ones and the orange ones because they were like sweet creams, and this one's a praline one. So they would be, and those ones, the purple ones, we weren't allowed to eat because they were only mum's. And nobody really liked some of them, like the sticks and the chewy toffees. Nobody really liked them. So there would be an order that they would disappear. So I've got lots of fond, nostalgic memories around a Quality Street tin. And I think if you've known me a while, you'll know that, like, for both my slow stitching and my junk journaling, nostalgia plays a massive part of it. It's a very nostalgic craft for me, and it evokes lots of memories of contentment and growing up, and I had a lovely childhood. It kind of evokes lots of good memories that way. Very typical Gen X childhood, but I think it was a lovely childhood. I think my daughter would be traumatised by it. But there you go. That's just the difference between a Gen Xer and a Gen Z. So there we go. That's the Quality Street tin, and I even have, but I've not brought it with me, I've got a vintage book from the 70s, like an embroidery book that's like sewing. So I have some and I've got loads of sewing ephemera. Like I really think that could be something very unusual and something that I'll be very happy about. I think about that as well, because I just love Bramley Edge. In fact, I'm going to have to try and find the video, like buy it or something, just for me. It doesn't have to be for anybody else. And then, and I can't put my hand on that because it's downstairs, I'm not having a good time with reaching for things. But I wanted to make a paper bag journal. I know we made one for the October one, and I'm going to talk about the October one in a moment. But I would like to make a gingerbread house one. And for Junk Journal July, on the 25th of July, I did 2 videos. I did the what should have been for the day for Junk Journal July, and I did a Christmas in July in the journal, and I really liked that, and I think that's something that I'll do next year, and I'll plan it into the journal. And I stamped with gesso using my stamps that have houses, just like house stamps. I stamped like a little gingerbread man street, and I just like, oh, you could make a gingerbread themed junk journal, but I'd need brown paper, and I've got some really big Primark bags, and my original intention was to make like a really big nice one that, you know, I spent a lot of time on. And because I am revising, I've just had an appraisal actually with work, and my boss is like, you need to like give yourself permission to slow down, and my diary has got a little bit slack because she's taken some of my caseload off me because I'm ill still, and I just like, oh, I don't know how to do that. I kind of like have a crash or burn, you know, it's kind of boom or bust, crash and burn. So I want to make, in the effort to not overdo stuff, I want to make a little paper bag junk journal with this small bag that I think I got from Risley Barnes. So yeah, I think I got it from Risley Barnes. So that's going to go on my pile, which is my list of to do. So we've said that was for December as well. And I think I'm gonna make this one out of atlas paper, which is quite thick. Like, I'll find some ugly atlas paper, and we'll do that as a tutorial. We'll do all of them as a tutorial. I just don't know when I'm gonna get to them. That's why I thought, like, the snowball one and the sewing one will happily go into next year. So if I don't get to it before Christmas, that's okay. I'm just sort of stating intention. And for slow stitching, and possibly actually have notions of making paper stockings, and this is probably going to be for next year, but I'll throw it out there because I'm just sort of banding ideas around. I don't know, I'm losing the ability to talk. But we have the vintage, like we had the advent calendars, and see, this is not going to happen because I can't even sort my Etsy out. I was going to like make paper stockings with presents in it, so that if you wanted to get yourself a junk journal present, you would have like a paper stocking, and there would be like a journal in it and some ephemera, and it would all be like in a made paper stocking. We will do that. I don't know if we'll do that this year, but I have that in my head. That's like a firm, fixed, I want to make a paper stocking. I do, however, have a personal need to make, my daughter is now 16 and she's had the same Christmas stocking since she was a baby. So I want to make a different Christmas stocking, and I quite like this, so I want to make something similar to this but in stocking shape. So that is going to be a junk, and we have time because we've got all of November. We have time to do that on our Slow Stitch Sundays. I've brought the robin because, I mean, the robin could actually go, I mean, look at that, you could put a robin on, robin could go anywhere on things like this. But I have on my community tab, my one and only post, I will do more, some pictures that I just put up. They were just on my computer, and they're actually from quite some time ago when I used to do workshops, like monthly little workshops in one of my jobs, several jobs back, and making recycled felt gingerbread man, which is really easy. It's like the most easy sewing slow stitch craft you can do. It's very similar to this, and have a lot of old wool felt. So we will do that for one of them, probably over 2 weeks as well. Although no, I don't know, we could probably do that in 1 week because there's not a lot to it. It's very similar to this, but on felt really. So there's gingerbread men, there's Christmas stocking, And then I don't know, I will have ideas and notions about, we probably could do in the similar vein, we could do stars and other different types of things as well, running up to Christmas. I would also like to do a little tour. I was thinking of my dining room. I might do my lounge as well, but my dining room tree, there's two things. There's my, what I call pretty shelves, which my husband made during the pandemic from some wood he found in a skip. A skip is a dumpster in the UK. And it sort of helped his stress relief was to make some shelves. And on it are, there's some expensive bits. There's some antique spode and stuff that's been bought, and a cup from Fortnum & Mason's that's spode as well. I like my spode. And there's other bits that I've picked up for pennies in charity shops, and it's just full of like teacups and pretty things. And it's on a little dresser, and on that dresser I have a little, I think it's 2 or 3 foot Christmas tree that I put all my handmade stuff on. So like this robin will more than likely sit in that tree, and give you a little tour of that really. Yeah, so I'd like to do that, because I haven't done, you know, I did the room tour, I haven't done the library shelves yet, but I think that can be any time of the year really, and it might be better in the summer when the light, the landing doesn't have a window, so it's getting the light from all the other rooms. So yeah, that might be better as a summer one, just to get the light better. So yeah, they're my plans. I haven't written anything down, have I? That's probably too much. I'm holding it all with a very loosely open hand, so if things fall off, that's okay. They're either never meant to be, or they're just not for now, they're for another time. But I think it's a positive thing that I still have ideas. I've just had like a supervision with my boss, and we renewed my wellness action plan, which is something that every manager should do with their workers, certainly in the UK anyway, just to maintain mental health in your role. And you know, like one was they wanted to know what triggers and indicators of stress, and like for me a big one is if I can't think creatively, I know I'm in trouble with my mental health, that like there's either something immediate that I'm ignoring, or there is something on the horizon. And so I was encouraged by the thought that, well, I still do have lots of ideas bimbling around my brain fogged adult brain. I just, you know, the mind is willing, the body is weak, sort of thing. So that it's encouraging to me that, you know, I still have ideas. And thank you for your patience. I know there's not videos every day. I also know that not everybody watches every video every day. I'm still trying to work out YouTube. I will do something else after this giveaway is over. We'll do the draw. I probably won't do a video for it because it feels like that's extra hassle, and I'd rather I'll do a video about who's got it. That's what I'll do. I might, yeah, I think I might box it up or something like that. So that'll be at the weekend that we will do that video. And yeah, good luck. If you haven't sort of entered yet, subscribe to the channel, comment and like on the video, and we'll see. At the beginning of this journey in July, I'd had the channel open, but I think I might have had 4 subscribers, all of which were family, I think, probably. And now I've got 240s, somewhere in the 240s, which I didn't expect. So, because I don't know how long it takes to grow a YouTube channel. I've not really got any, I don't know, I just know that it needs to keep, for it to be worthwhile, there has to be growth, I think, in anything. For things to be worthwhile, there have to be growth. I mean, no, it's worthwhile in itself. For it to be sustainable, it has to grow, I think. I don't know what I'm thinking. Other than it, like, I think for it to encourage me to keep doing it, it has to grow, doesn't it? And it is doing. Obviously within the confines of, I have still got a full-time job. Will have a full-time job until I've paid my mortgage off. And a family. yeah, so fitting it in with that, it's kind of finding its feet, and it is doing, and I really enjoy it, and as long as I enjoy it, that's how long I'll do it, really, I think. Yeah, I really enjoy it. So let me know your thoughts. What are you going to do running up to Christmas? Because I know, you see, December used to be my busiest time of year, and I could never Christmas craft because it used to be my busiest time of year. In my previous job, I had to like put 9 Christmas trees up, wrap hundreds of presents, put things on, carol services, all kinds of stuff in the place where I used to work, and I don't have that now. And I get to have Christmas off. And so I'm kind of looking forward to just it being what I want it to be rather than what anybody else wants it to be. So this is a very new thing for me, because lots of jobs before involved working Christmas Day and the run up to Christmas and late Christmas Eves and all kinds of things, and now I don't have that, and so I get to do what I want to do. It's a shame that Lily's a big person, but she enjoyed the ride. It was very much fun when she was little. Alright then, I've waffled on probably too long. I hope I have enough memory in this thing. I hope it comes out. I hope the microphone works. I guess I will tell. I will watch it through before I post it. And yeah, I look forward to chatting to you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to when I get better, there's going to be more things. I'm excited. Gonna keep going. You keep going. We'll all keep going. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.